So a jet plane flies through this cold atmosphere, produces a hot exhaust that is mostly composed of carbon dioxide and water vapor.
This exhaust condenses into ice crystals. They form white streaks which can disperse in minutes or remain for hours. As air travel increases, so do the number of contrails. Aviation experts say there's nothing more to it. But some people believe that aeroplanes are releasing experimental chemical additives high in the sky. They call them chemtrails. The reason they say is government research on weather manipulation and ways to counteract global warming. And some of those people claim that chemtrails are harming life on Earth. Eyewitnesses and researchers who believe in chemtrails say that jet contrails have stopped vanishing within minutes as they once did. Rosalind Peterson is one of those believers. She lives near San Francisco. When she worked for the California Department of Agriculture, she monitored environmental issues as part of her job.
I first started noticing unusual contrails in 2002 when it was brought to my attention by a friend of mine. He took me outside of his office and we began to look at these persistent jet contrails.
Rosalind thought there might be a connection between these lingering contrails and reports of chemically contaminated water in communities throughout California.
There were unusual high spikes in chemicals and heavy metals. Barium, aluminum, manganese, magnesium, zinc. And I suspect that we're getting the solution from something in the atmosphere that's being released.
She became so alarmed about the chemical contrails, she formed an organization called California Skywatch. The group tracks chemtrails and monitors air quality.
I started documenting what I was seeing. I took pictures on my breaks. I took pictures at lunch hour. I started to really get angry because our once deep blue skies were no longer deep blue. They would turn into a white haze, and they would turn into these man-made clouds blocking the sunlight.
As she became more involved in her research, Rosalind discovered that she wasn't alone in her anxiety. Hundreds of websites revealed that persistent air contrails had become a worldwide concern.
I started then to research internet sites and government agencies, the EPA, NOAA, NASA, the United States Air Force. I learned that there was a lot of atmospheric heating and testing programs going on. I learned that there was lots of equipment that would lead these types of persistent plumes and spray chemicals.
Will Thomas is an investigative journalist. He believes that some contrails provide evidence of secret atmospheric experiments. He's been writing about the subject for over 10 years.
This is a deliberate project to slow down global warming. These trails were appearing over rural areas, away from navigational beacons and normal air routes. They would appear for weeks at a time and then disappear entirely, only to reappear months later, unlike normal scheduled air traffic.
He believes that chemical contrails are an indication that jet emissions are being used to engineer the weather and slow global warming.
The problem with chemtrails is that when we attempt to geoengineer and interfere with complex, interrelated atmospheric processes, we are in for unintended consequences on a major scale.
The unintended consequences of geoengineering could be hazardous to many aspects of life on Earth. Could those consequences include threats to human health? The Mediterranean.
I can't believe that just went on my Discovery World channel. After the break, I'll do some more.